Crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line, cause I never break or back down. One shot is do or die.
Welcome to the bottom of the bottom. Me and Cena Solomon. If I saw him and I had to get him, yeah, I finally got him. Going to boost to mix up the solution. I am such a problem. Crazy goon and gone up that pollution with a group of goblins, super choppers, and they hoot and holler when we flipping dollars, suits and partners. But if you started, we gon' finish it. Welcome to the wild side. You know what the business is.
I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm a boss, I'm a... I am a king on the throne and I'm running the kingdom with all my ability, using my strength and agility. Money.
Everybody knows that. Don't hold back, got you on go jack. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Party on replay, party on replay.
Welcome to the bottom of the bottom. Me and Cena Solomon. If I saw him and I had to get him, yeah, I finally got him. Going to boost to mix up the solution. I am such a problem. Crazy goon and gone up that pollution with a group of goblins, super choppers, and they hoot and holler when we flipping dollars, suits and partners. But if you started, we gon' finish it. Welcome to the wild side. You know what the business is.
Been running fast, crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line, cause I never break or back down. One shot is do or die.
The music is so cool.
I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm a boss, I'm a... I am a king on the throne and I'm running the kingdom with all my ability, using my strength and agility. Money.
Put your hands up, everybody knows that. Don't hold back, got you on go jack. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Party on replay, party on replay.
Fast, crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line, cause I never break or back down. One shot is do or die.
Welcome to the bottom of the bottom. Me and Cena Solomon. If I saw him and I had to get him, yeah, I finally got him. Going to boost to mix up the solution. I am such a problem. Crazy goon and gone up that pollution with a group of goblins, super choppers, and they hoot and holler when we flipping dollars, suits and partners. But if you started, we gon' finish it. Welcome to the wild side. You know what
the kingdom with all my ability, using my strength and agility. Money.
You make me feel so good. The music is so cool.
Welcome to the bottom of the bottom. Me and Saint Solomon. If I saw him and I had to get him, yeah, I finally got him. Corner boost to mix up the solution. I am such a problem. Crazy goon and gone up that pollution with a group of goblins, super choppers, and they hoot and holler when we scooping dollars, losing partners. But if you started, we gon' finish it. Welcome to the wild side. You know what the business is.
I'm a boss, I'm a king, I reign on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I reign on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I reign on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I reign on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm a boss, I'm a I am a king on the throne and I'm running the kingdom with all my ability, using my strength and agility. Money.
Been running fast, crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line, cause I never break or back down. One shot is do or die.
Put your hands up, everybody knows that. Don't hold back, got you on Go Jack. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Party on replay, party on replay.
You make me feel so good. The music is so cool.
Welcome to the bottom of the bottom. Me and Saint Solomon. If I saw him and I had to get him, yeah, I finally got him. Corner boost to mix up the solution. I am such a problem. Crazy goon and gone up that pollution with a group of goblins, super choppers, and they hoot and holler when we scooping dollars, losing partners. But if you started, we gon' finish it. Welcome to the wild side. You know what the business is.
I'm a boss, I'm a king, I reign on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I reign on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I reign on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I reign on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm a boss, I'm a I am a king on the throne and I'm running the kingdom with all my ability, using my strength and agility. Money.
You make me feel so good. The music is so cool.
Been running fast, crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line, cause I never break or back down. One shot is do or die.
Put your hands up, everybody knows that. Don't hold back, got you on Go Jack. Go DJ, Go Jack. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Party on replay, party on replay.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for the Black Wealth Matters educational series. We're on series 3, all about birthing. And before we start, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about who we are and why we're doing this series. So my name's Serria. I'm actually the creator of the Black Wealth Matters educational series. I also have a team that helped me put it together. And I'm sorry, I'm touching my screen. So we are part of World Financial Group, and really our dream is to change the world through education. And that's actually why we created the Black Wealth Matters educational series. We keep this as an ongoing series where we call industry experts to help us share the information of the past, present, and what we think will be the best path for the future. And I actually call this educational activism. And the reason why this became so important, because like so many of you guys, after the murder of George Floyd, we all started trying to look at what we can do to change this society that we have. And what I did was I came to my team, and my team, it started with five of us, including myself, Fabiana, Jamie, Gilbert, Kathy, and then we've grown to Raquel, Dimitri, Chris, Tekla, Oneka, Raven, and together we've found some of the most dynamic speakers in the country, leaders in all facets of areas that impact everyday life that you might know about, and some of them you might not. But for today, we're going to be learning about the history, present, and the future of the birthing industry. And then I also, before we start, I also want to share a little bit about who we are and what we do as well. So just the lay of the land. During the event, you'll see the chat room over to the side. The chat room is where you can enter questions and comments, ask whatever you want to ask, share conversations. It's also where we'll give you different information from what the speakers bring up, different social media handles and things of that nature. So we're Black Wealth Matters Educational Series. We call ourselves Team Hero. It's like a nickname. It's not our official name. We're agents, but we just want to be heroes in this world that's full of so many people who may or may not have our best interests at heart. So during the event, type questions in the chat room. We love to hear from you. If the speaker has a charity of choice, we'd love for you to make donations. And also make sure to shout us out on your social media using the hashtag BWM series. And let's get started. So today I'm going to be talking about money first. All right. Now, in terms of what we're doing, you guys, the financial sector is so interesting because it's one of those areas that we know are important, but we also don't know much about it. As a matter of fact, there are so few Black people in the financial sector that when we did a Google search, when our team did a Google search to figure out the numbers, it came up with zero, nothing. There was not enough people to make a mark on it. And even of Black and brown financial advisors today, many of them actually did not start out with the intention of being a financial advisor. Now, why I'm saying that is because that might be your situation. But what we know right now is that we're in a bit of a financial revolution. I think Robert Smith coined it. This is the next industrial revolution, right? And it might be technology, but there's a component of finance to it as well. And it never hurts to be right in the thick of it. And the financial sector is in the thick of it. So we think this is just an opportune, this is just a great time to put Black folks on the map when it comes to finance and creating wealth, because there's no time like the present. So what makes us unique and what we're going to share with you today is really who we are, what we do, and how we work. And what makes us unique is that we're one of the few companies that actually helps everyday people, hardworking families that look like ours, families with our mothers and our daddies and our aunts and aunties and uncles and all that good stuff. That's unique. And of all of my years in the industry, I haven't seen any company like ours. And that's why I'm here. And business ownership right now, business ownership is a re-emerging concept. It's not new. As a matter of fact, during Reconstruction, Black folks were business owners, right? And it was a threat, right? But now we're getting more into that space. Black women are the largest business owners in the largest business owning segment in America right now. I believe that's how it's phrased. So we know that we know that we need to be business owners, but we've also been taught to be professionals. We're taught to go to school, become doctors, lawyers, engineers, and things of that nature, and get all of these great careers. But because of the wealth gap, because of the way we're taxed when we earn these high incomes as W-2, and the fact that we do need to contribute to our family because of how systemic racism has impacted our wealth, we do need to earn more money. So business ownership does need to happen whether we are employees or not. And what's great about our company is we have a system, in case anyone wants to be a business owner with us. And when you're thinking about business ownership, you got to think about some serious things. You got to think about the cost, the time, how will you be compensated? Will you be compensated? Is this the right time for that particular industry? And then if you're going to work with a company, you got to think about what's the core of that company, because there are so many companies in America where you may or may not feel comfortable based on what their makeup is. And more than ever, there's a dramatic need for financial education. So that's going to be, these are just some of the stats that are out there in America. And what we all know is that when America catches a cold, Black America catches the flu. So these are the unfortunate statistics that we're trying to aggressively counteract here. And these are just some of the things that families are facing. And just in the interest of time, because I do want to get to the subject matter of hand, these are the stresses that are created from financial insecurity. Right now, mental health is such a big hot topic in America. Everyone's talking about mental health and mental wellness and personal days. What creates more stress than money? As a matter of fact, there are studies that show that when people are retired and their retirement account goes down to half, they die within 2 years. That's a real number. That's how serious money is. But what we know now, and what has been created from our forefathers in the Black community, you guys, is we now have a foundation where we're able to control more of our cash flow than we've ever been able to do before. So we're in a great situation to make some leaps and bounds. And in terms of where we do it, we're a company that helps the families, but we also help people look at opportunities. So we're completely different. And right now, different is winning. Different is winning, you guys. People are always looking for what's different, what's good, what's new, what's exciting, what's innovative. And we're right at the cusp of that innovation. But in terms of wealth, we're always thinking about that. What is wealth? And so often, I'm sure you guys see, you see it, where sometimes people get shamed for wanting the nice things. You might have shamed some people yourselves. I know I have. It's so sad. I'm sorry, Lord Jesus, forgive me. But we like nice things, you know, in the Black community, the Asian community too. They're known for it. The white community, everybody likes nice things. But for whatever reason, Black people, we get shamed for it, right? We're like, oh, they have that. Do they have enough to put money away for anything? And there's this knowingness that the nice things do not equal wealth. We already know that. So what is wealth then? What we look at wealth as is financial independence here. And financial independence is where you're independent. You're making enough money where you can work because you want to work versus you have to, right? It's not things, it's a fact. And in order for that to happen, there's something called a healthy budget. Elizabeth Warren lobbied this term on Capitol Hill when she was lobbying against the credit card company. She called it the healthy budget. It was the reason why so many people were going into bankruptcy in the 80s, because they were in serious credit card debt. Now we're not in serious credit card debt. Well, we are, but our student loan debt actually trumps our credit card debt in the Black community, because so many of us are now second generation college graduates, but some of us are still first, like myself. So because of the way that our families were created and the aggressive ploy to keep us impoverished as a group, we have not been able to necessarily save up for college. So what do? We have debt in order to create those great lifestyles. So now we're looking at what do we need to do to create wealth. And what's great about our company is we're impacting that. But then we circle back to the Black Wealth series. And when I was doing this series, someone asked me, well, I don't understand, what does birthing have to do with wealth? And what does giving birth or people dying in birth, what does that have to do with money? And that's the funny thing about America, you guys. America is a capitalistic society. Everything has to do with money here. Literally everything, right? And if I break it down, even from a birthing standpoint, what that means is when we give birth, now we have hospital bills, right? Hospital bills in America are one of the leading sources of bankruptcies. Bankruptcies lead to homelessness, etc. Or if something happens that shouldn't happen, like someone passes away or the child passes away due to negligence that seems to happen over and over and over in the Black families when we're giving birth, then that leads to the mental trauma. And we already know that when you're not mentally well, you're not going to do your best. And if you're not going to do your best, have you guys ever heard that phrase, last hired, first fired? Anybody ever heard that? Put it in the chat room if you ever heard that. And you know who that usually pertains to, right? So if we're not giving our best, that does lead to consequences in our work world. So that's how it has to do with wealth. Everything in America has a price tag. So we really want to get clear about that. And then what is financial independence? It's really working where you want to work versus you have to work. And ultimately, you guys, what we're trying to do is just give people a game plan. But I had a conversation with someone earlier. What makes us unique? What makes us different than other companies? It's because we're having conversations like this. It's because we're going out and we're looking at all the different ways that money's impacted. Because we know it's not just 1 + 1 + 1. We know that it's 1 plus -1 plus a +1 plus the derivative of a -2. And all of those things end up affecting what's your bottom line. So when we sit down, we do a complimentary financial needs analysis. And that's where we're literally going to give you some information about how it all works, from the market to the tax strategies to your retirement plan. And then we start talking about what's important for you and what habits you want to create. And then we go from there. So it's a complimentary process. There's no cost, and we want to help everyone. And that means you don't need a minimum to work with us. And I mentioned a lot of people when I started, because those are all the people on our team, and we want more people. So we have more than enough people that can help you regardless of your situation, background, or income. So now we talked a little bit about who we are. Let's talk about some financial education. I call this the goodie bag. We're going to give you a little bit of a goodie bag to go. So the first one is the rule of 72. So the rule of 72 is how compound interest works. And what you do is you take 72 and you divide it by the interest rate of whatever your investment is getting. And that's going to give you approximately how many years it takes for your money to double. Money doubling is very important. We need our money to double. We need our money to double literally right now. So we want, in order for us to have that happen, we really need to understand how this rule works. So we help with those investments. We help make sure that you get an interest rate that makes sense for you. The other thing that we want to talk about, in addition to the rule of 72, is the power of time. So often, because planning isn't taught in the average household as it is taught with wealthy families, we want to plan. It's like a luxury. We're going to plan once we get done with our debt. We're going to plan once we get back from vacation. We're going to get serious, or we don't even need to get serious at all because we have a good job and things of that nature. But the reality is, whatever we create is what our generations will create. If we create a habit of being addicted to our employers, our kids will be addicted to their employers. But remember, we're the last hired, first fired. So is that really a healthy addiction to create for them? Maybe not, right? So what's the answer? The answer is creating good habits regardless of what your situation is, because the same way that wealth compounds using the rule of 72, so does poverty. And how you see it is because you'll have people who are making good money, but they're not creating any wealth. So that's the answer. How do we change it? We change it with the good habits, and we do that right now. And as great as our good habits are, there's very little we can do about taxes. Taxes are so intrusive, aren't they? So intrusive. So there are 3 ways that our money can be taxed. It can be taxed from start to finish. It can be taxed in a tax deferred sense. And that's going to be your retirement accounts, where you're taxed at the end, not at the beginning. Or it can be taxed as a tax advantage vehicle. And what I want you guys to understand is, in America, America rewards business owners. The laws have been created by business owners, right? So business owners, they don't pay taxes, they get deductions. So because they're getting these deductions, then they're able to take their money and put it into these tax advantage vehicles that typically only they have access to, because the gatekeepers, financial professionals, don't allow everyone through, right? So now you're paying less in taxes, you're making more money, you're putting your investments into things that are not taxed ever again. Obviously, that's a different game plan. So what we want to do is make sure everyone has access to that. And that's one of the very unique things about our company that most companies don't do. And I mentioned the financial needs analysis. This is what we do. We sit down and we give people the space and the care to talk about your future. Words are so important, you guys. You'll be shocked how often people don't even feel comfortable to talk about what they want in their future. If they don't feel comfortable to talk about it, it won't happen. And these are some of the areas that we look at. These are some of the companies that we work with. And that's how our company compares to everyone else. So you guys, in closing, for my part, we like, for those of you guys who are committed to changing lives, we know who we attract. We attract changers. We attract people who want to make an impact on the world as much as we do. So if you are committed to changing your life, then you might need a plan and you might need some partners. And if you're committed to changing other people's lives, then consider us as a part of that. So please take advantage of my Calendly link that's going to be on the sticky note, and schedule 20 minutes so that we can chat with you. And also make sure to follow our social media links and all that good stuff as well. Okay, so now that I am done with that, the reality is that, you guys, when we have these amazing dynamic speakers, sometimes things come up. And Miss Tatiana is shooting a movie, and I had a backup who's a trauma specialist. And my trauma specialist, one of her kids was having a breakdown, and they were she's more needed there than with us. So what I wanted to do today is, there's so many things that I want to share and I want to talk about. And today, I think we can just talk about it. But if there is anyone in the audience that are any of my speakers for the next series, and you want to jump in, let me know. Any of my speakers, any birthing experts in here at all? Okay. All right. Okay, it doesn't look like any birthing experts. Okay, you guys, so that means I have you all to myself. So I am excited because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm a speaker too. Now, we're not going to talk about birthing, but we're going to talk about all of it. Let's just talk about all of it. So let's talk about the start of this and really what I think is missing. So those of you guys who know my background know that I'm from Chicago. I was raised by a gorgeous, beautiful mom who did her absolute best. And what I didn't know at the time was that pretty much all of my friends had the exact same backgrounds. And the reason why we had the same backgrounds was because we were experiencing the same problems through systemic racism. So when I was growing up, I was born in 76, but during that time, you guys, that's when Ronald Reagan did his war on drugs. That's when a lot of people got swept into the drug issue. So it wasn't uncommon for pretty much everyone in my community to have parents either dealing with mental illness or drug issues. That's the first time that I realized that there are so many people that have things in common. Now, the second thing that I realized that made me want to do these series is that my grandma couldn't read. And my grandmother couldn't read because what I didn't know was that after slavery was over, Mississippi was still treating Black folks like slaves. They were keeping them from being educated in the schools. They were literally making them work in the fields. And because they were working in the fields, in order for them to even get out, half of them had to run away and escape. So this sounds like it's so far away, right? Mm-mm. It wasn't. It was my grandmother and my old agent's dad had to be smuggled out of Alabama in the hood of a trunk, right? So, and Tatiana's fine. She is doing a movie. It's Candy Lewis was going to be our next speaker, and she wasn't able to because of a young man having a mental breakdown. So Tatiana's good. Tatiana is going to be the next month's speaker. She had a movie, but I mean, you guys, our speakers are world sought after people. Congresswoman Robin Kelly might do the same thing. We had to do the same thing with Aisha Braveboy. This is the first time where I have you guys all to myself. So I'm really excited to talk. And if you have any questions that you want to ask, please share. But the long and short of it is that there have been so many things that Black people, we've been taught to be ashamed about and hide and be afraid of, not understanding where it came from or that it was so intentional towards Black people. So when you start looking at things and just really getting clear about how our political system has been created and how pretty much the politics of it is what created the war on drugs and what created the Jim Crow laws that kept people from being able to go to education, then you see that where we are today is actually pretty phenomenal. The fact that we are in this place where people are sacrificed to get us from point A to B. We're at B now, but now we need to get to E. So now it's really, these conversations are to get us to E, because so the game of America, you guys, the game of America is pretending like everything was so long ago versus it's currently happening. So nothing that Kyle Rittenhouse is in a trial right now for killing someone who was standing up for Black Lives Matter. Ahmaud Arbery's murderers are in trial for shooting him while he was jogging because they're invoking a slave catcher act. So the game of America and the gaslighting of America is making us think that everything happened so long ago, and they do it so slick. They'll make pictures in black and white. Have you guys noticed that Martin Luther King pictures were in black and white? They're always in black and white, but Martin Luther King was during the same time as Marilyn Monroe. Her pictures are in color. His pictures are in black and white. There was a bombing in Philadelphia in 1985. I didn't know about it. I was reading about something with money. I was reading about laws and things of that nature, and it came up on my radar. And I look at the pictures, and it was in black and white. It was 1985. During Cyndi Lauper, Michael Jackson, and all of that. So the more that I started looking at this conversation and just seeing how there's so much confusion, the more I wanted to make sure that I wanted to not be confused myself. And so if I'm a generous person, and if I'm learning, you can learn too. So let me share with you what I've learned so far, so I can catch you guys up. And I'm going to give you guys some of the books that I've read too that I think you guys would enjoy. There's a book called Black Fortunes. It's about the first 6 Black millionaires out of slavery. And 3 were men and 3 were women. And one of the things that I learned from that book is that and it's very similar to today. What was so interesting, especially from the women, was women had a double-edged sword pointed towards them, or that they had to carry rather. They were Black and they were women. So the three Black millionaires, the first three Black millionaires, one of them came from sales, one of them came from real estate that she got from a admirer, and then the other one came from banking, if you will. She was actually lending out money like a mortgage broker. She was a bit of a loan shark. The one that was in the banking world, what was interesting about her was that she always had to have a white face by her, represent her. She always had to have a white face so that they can lend out her money and then she can get her money back. The real estate lady did too. The real estate lady, this was in New York during this time. Yeah, thank you, Carrie Ann. That's great. During this time, and Carrie Ann was saying, lay over the birthing with the redlining, and I even wonder about that, Carrie Ann. But we're gonna get back to that. So during this time in New York, you guys, this lady who got her money from her admirer, she had to have a Black passing for white preacher by all of her real estate. So when I started looking at that and just seeing how there are so many, the successful people had to hide their money. They had to hide their money. And then fast forward to today, Robert F. Smith, the guy who paid for the student loans from the Morehouse kids. You guys, I read Forbes magazine often. I study money often. I didn't know about Robert F. Smith. And why didn't I know about Robert F. Smith? Because Robert F. Smith was being very intentional that no one knew about him as a Black billionaire. So isn't that interesting that one of the Black billionaires, probably one of the richest Black men in the world, was hiding his wealth? He was hiding, no different than what our forefathers did during Reconstruction. So the question is that really something that we shouldn't do? I know social media makes it where you want to flaunt everything, but is that actually something that should probably still be done? I don't know. Another book that I read was called White Trash. It's about it's written about from a historian, just a history teacher at a university. But what she did was she talked about how the people who came to found America, they were the people in Europe that nobody wanted. They call them the trash people, and they would make fun of their sickness, their pale skin, their oversized gums, their milky undertones. They would make fun of them, and there was no way they were ever going to be at the level that the nobles were, or the I guess the nobles, the townspeople were. So when they were given a chance to come to America, Europe hoped that they died in the water. They did. And you guys read it. It's called White Trash. It's the history of America. So she talks about how they get to America and they really want to, they say they want equality, but really they wanted a place where they can actually be the top, right? And why that's important to know is because it was a lot of people that were treated very cruel. And we all know, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, there's a group dynamic, there's a group culture, there's a group energy. If I smile, even on this video, some of you guys are smiling. I promise you, some of you are smiling, or you're smiling with your eyes, and if I cried, some of you will start crying. There's a group dynamic. So what happens when you get all the people who have been treated like crap and probably not necessarily the nicest people themselves, and you put them on an island? What happens? They end up doing, that's the culture. That's the culture, right? And as much as other people wanted to have these ideals that we were creating. The reality is we just got a bad batch of people who all came together and created that bad batch. They had good things too, and they also had bad things. So that's something to consider. So when people are like, why is slavery? Why is this still? We're dealing with people who never really addressed the original part of the personality issue, right? And so what that means is right now, the transformation can't just be financial. It can't just be put people in good cars and give them good food. There's a lot of mental work that we have to do for ourselves and as a country. There's no way around it. We have to. But the good part of that is that leaders create the tone, don't they? Leaders create the tone. So a leader doesn't just have to be the president. We saw the tone with the last president, and we saw how that meanness, that mean spirit kind of infected everybody. Anxiety went up, suicide rates went up, Black men's suicide rates went up, Black kids suicide rates went up. That was recent. That was from what just happened. So they say sticks and stones will break my bones. That's true. And words will make you commit suicide. So words are very powerful. And as leaders, you guys, what I'm getting at is, in this room, we're leaders. In this room, we're taking time. You guys see that my speakers weren't here. You're still here listening to me, and I appreciate it. But we're leaders. We're here because we want something. We want some answers. We want some understanding, right? So consider this. Consider that as leaders, the same way presidents and dictators and CEOs of companies can create the tone, we can create the tone as well. And we have to create the tone. And what I'm seeing now more than ever is people who are just grabbing little pockets. And that's really ultimately what the Black Wealth series is for. I just want you to create a little pocket, right? And what I mean by that is this. In the Black community, and probably all communities, but in the Black community especially, there are two people. There are two basic people in this play. And one of them is the umbrella holder, and the other is the person under the umbrella. Those are the two. We got the umbrella holders. Those are the protectors. And then we got the people under the umbrella. Those are the people who are in need of protection. Does that make sense? So some umbrella holders, unfortunately, they're very myopic. They're very short-sighted. They're like, I'm just going on vacation. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get me some shoes. And so their umbrella is like those little umbrellas at the amusement park. They're those hat umbrellas where your shoulders and your feet are still getting wet. They don't protect much of nobody, especially yourself. But consider that we can make our umbrella bigger. And what we're going to need to make our umbrella bigger is knowledge. We're going to need some financial planning. We're going to need some money, right? Because capitalism is a real thing. It's a real eating, breathing, sleeping thing out in America. So in order for us to make our umbrella bigger, we have to have more resources to protect our people. And I love I love that Robert F. Smith helped all those kids and helped all those kids at Morehouse. But consider that the answer might just be helping your own family. It might just be helping your own family. It might be just having enough life insurance to cover your own kids and your grandkids. Or if you don't have any kids, like myself and my husband, making sure your nieces and nephews are straight. Even if they don't talk to you that much, it don't matter. You can still take care of them. And if you don't have any nieces or nephews, get some money, plan for the church, plan for your sorority, plan for your nonprofit, plan for your best friend who has a nonprofit, plan for all the groups in the community that need it. One of the great things about Black folks is we believe in community, right? Our communities are attacked always. And unfortunately, I think a lot of times we don't understand that we're on attack. We think we're at a party. Meanwhile, we're at an MMA boxing match getting beat up. But yes, we're under attack. And so we have to get really intentional about protection and protecting our families. And the way that we're going to do that is by having the resources. We did the event not too long ago, and we had one of the first Black CIA agents as one of our speakers. And he was amazing. And he was talking about how the government literally attacked Black leaders, how the FBI had like 17 files on Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King wasn't even an adult for 17 years when they had 17 files on him, right? So what does that mean? That means that little things, we know that activism has a responsibility and it has a danger to it. We all know that in our world. But little things like being able to help your family with a lawyer, being able to help your family with parking tickets, because a lot of the Black areas and brown areas are overly policed, and those parking tickets that they get can put them under. That speeding ticket that they get trying to get to work from their second job can put them under. But if we don't have extra money, we can't help. That's why the Black Wealth series is so important. When I think about the fact that George Floyd died for $20, and meanwhile, there's a culture in America where we're like, oh no, I can't give people money. They'll go out and buy drugs and overdose off of my $5 that I gave them. I can't give them money. I have to give them a half-eaten sandwich and a bottle of lukewarm water from the back of my car. That doesn't work. We got to give money. But even more importantly, consider giving money to your family. Consider making sure your family is good, you guys. If we as the leaders in this room, if we can just help our families, basic minimum, and not that help that if you do this, I'll do, maybe if you do it right, but help and support and give mentorship, guidance, share, just like I'm sharing with you guys different things that you can have, share with that as well. But that's the game that we have to play, because moving forward, laws are still changing, and we're getting to see more and more that systemic racism is politics. It literally is politics. And it's always so funny to me how the bad laws can happen in the blink of an eye. Laws are changed in rooms, and now we're going to have our voting rights impacted. But good laws have to I don't know, be capsuled out of the world into the astrosphere and then come back as a I don't know, but it feels like the good stuff doesn't happen, right? I wonder why that is. And also, that's not where my energy is going to be spent. My energy is going to be spent with us understanding that at the end of the day, these laws do impact us. There's another book that I want you guys to read called The Whiteness of Wealth. The Whiteness of Wealth is how it talks about how tax laws disproportionately affect the households that are the well-off household in the Black community. And our households usually look like two income earner, W-2 high earners. That's what it looks like. If you're two high earning W-2 people in Los Angeles, you can be in a 51% tax bracket. 51% tax bracket, you heard me. 51%, right? Because the people that changed the laws, who lobbied and sued the Supreme Court, they didn't have two people household incomes. They had one person household income. They had breadwinners. They have stay-at-home wives. They were able to do all these great things. We haven't gotten to that point yet. And I don't know if we're going to be able to change the tax laws because of the unfortunate biases that people can have that they're not even present to. So what's the answer? The answer is we need to become more entrepreneurial. And does that mean do hair and all that good stuff? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It can mean own a business, but own it secretly, just like they did during Reconstruction. It can mean own real estate, but own it just like the lady did during Reconstruction. You might have to have somebody else buy it. You might have to have that LLC buy it. But it's really more of that conversation that needs to happen in order to create change. All right, you guys. So I have, I've talked to you guys. I think I said everything I wanted to say. Let me think. Let's talk about kids too, you guys. Because so often when I talk about what I want to do, people, or what I'm doing, people always say, well, you know, can you talk to kids? Can you talk to kids? Why don't you talk to our kids about this and all that good stuff? The reality is that why talk to the kids when the parents need help? Why talk to kids when people get divorced over money, when people die over money? Why talk to the kids? They don't have an impact or an awareness of money yet. So none of us are so far gone that we don't need to get some help. Are there going to be people that don't listen? Absolutely. But there are plenty of people that still need this information, and we can help where we can. All right. Does anybody have anything that they want to add, share, or contribute? Carrie Ann says, when you overlay the poor birth outcomes on top of the redlining areas, it fits perfectly. Carrie Ann, so what I'm learning is that it doesn't so historically our poor Blacks are always attacked more. They're always attacked more, right? Because when we have a little bit of money, we can get out of the poor neighborhoods. The problem is the birthing industry affects everyone equally. Serena Williams almost died. Tatiana fainted in childbirth. They had complete disregard. And then and Congresswoman Robin Kelly, she's going to talk about it when she does her piece as well. But they're now creating a whole caucus on Black women and girls that is addressing these issues. And I even talked to a client of mine who's a nurse, and she said that her hospital, which is a very nice hospital in Beverly Hills, talks to them about it. And she's seen it with her own eyes. She saw a woman have a child, and the doctor gave her a Tylenol. She said she was in excruciating pain. The doctor gave her a Tylenol. Meanwhile, she saw another Caucasian woman who had just had a child, and the doctor gave her medication in her drip. He gave her pills, and the lady was no pain. So it's just a foundational disregard for Black lives that has never been addressed. It has never been addressed, and it hasn't been addressed. So what are we going to do? Right? I don't know if we can change anyone. I don't think we can. I don't think we can change anybody, you guys, unfortunately, but we can change ourselves. And if we're going to change ourselves, what we really need to do is get super money motivated. We got to get super money motivated. And Gilbert, we got to get super money motivated because in this capitalistic society, money is a protector. Money is a voice. Money has an energy in America and is super respected. Slavery was because of money. The prison system is because of money, right? There are some things that are just disregard. The Black birthing industry, this is a disregard for us completely. But a lot of it has a foundation of capitalism attached. And there's so many times where people say things like, activists, I don't believe in capitalism. I don't believe in capitalism. And whenever I hear people say that, they're usually at their Florida house for the summer. They're usually at, having their six-figure job at a high-level university, and they're saying they don't believe in capitalism. And to me, that really, it burns me up, because what I hear them saying is that they don't believe in pushing themselves a little bit more so that they can help take care of somebody else, because for them the problem doesn't exist. And that's no different than people saying that racism doesn't exist to me. And Gilbert's saying, how does critical race theory affect birthing? So critical race theory, so y'all know what I'm realizing? There is no critical race theory. They're talking about Black history. They are talking about Black history. They are not talking about critical race theory. These folks don't want Black American history taught in the schools. They know that critical race theory is not taught. They know that that's something else. So they don't want history taught, and they got butthurt because during last year 2020, race was brought up because racial things were happening, and they didn't think that race should be brought up in the schools at all, even though the world is burning around them. They didn't want their kids to hear about race. Yeah, so it's a complete bait and switch, Carrie. There is no critical race theory. They're just talking about Black history. They don't want their kids to understand that there is really not for real. There's no Black history. It's kind of still the same, you guys. I wouldn't be surprised if there's, well, I guess there is. I mean, this isn't anything new. There's still slavery. There's sex slaves. There's still slavery today. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere hidden in America. I wouldn't be surprised, because the more that I study America, the more that I realize it hasn't really changed. Not really. But the game is to make you think it has, so that you don't fight, so that you think it's okay, so that you think that you can just be myopic. But we don't have that luxury. None of us have that luxury. I'm just browbeating you guys. All right. Anybody else want to share anything else? Thank you guys for listening to me. I'm so happy I had a chance to talk with you guys. I don't think I've ever had a chance to just talk to you since we started. It's been go, 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 go. Every speaker, they've been more and more and more dynamic. And we're going to get to our dynamic speakers. We have some dynamic speakers for this series. And they're just all so transformational and so busy. And we're so lucky to have them. That this is what can occur. Has it occurred? Nope, this is the first time, but it can. And usually when it does, we just switch things around. So yeah, any questions or comments or anything that anyone wants to share? Thank you. I'm so happy you guys enjoyed it. But the way that we're going to, you guys, the way we're going to change it is really, Dee, can you put my sticky note of my Calendly up there? So you guys, the help that we need is we just need to have conversations like this in safe spaces. Y'all know if I talk like this around too many people, I get death threats. So that doesn't work. So we need to have safe conversations like this. And just really honest conversations and cite sources and cite where it's coming from. And I love listening to experts. So that's the best that we can do. We can read, we can learn, we can share, we can focus on transforming our communities and transforming ourselves so that we can protect more of our vulnerable until we can get more people in the spaces that represent us so that we can ultimately have real safety, real laws that aren't going to be voted out and minimized and have our presence minimized. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, Carrie, and I think you absolutely should do some research on the birthing, pregnancy, and postpartum experiences of educated Black women. I think that's a great thing. And Tatiana has a degree. Serena Williams, I don't think she went to college, so it might be high earning too. I think that might be the difference. It affects the low earners and the high earners to the same degree, and that's one of the things that we're discovering. Does anybody else want to share anything else? Share, I'm sorry, not share, but create a meet and greet with me. Let me know if you guys belong to any organizations that we can help promote and partner with to get more people for the Black Wealth series, for our birthing series. And what else? And thank you. All right. I think that is it. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to play our video. Does anybody else want to say anything else? Okay, good. Thank you all as well.
Crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line, cause I never break or back down. One shot is do or die.
Welcome to the bottom of the bottom. Me and Cena Solomon. If I saw him and I had to get him, yeah, I probably got him. Corner boost to mix up the solution. I am such a problem. Crazy goon and gone up that pollution with a group of goblins, super choppers, and they hoot and holler when we scraping dollars, losing partners. But if you started, we gon' finish it. Welcome to the wild side. You know what the business is.
I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I cannot be stopped. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm right on the top. I'm a boss, I'm a king, I'm a boss, I'm a I am a king on the throne and I'm running the kingdom with all my ability, using my strength and agility. Money.
You make me feel so good. The music is so cool.
Put your hands up, everybody know that. Don't hold back, got you on go jack. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Party on replay, party on replay.
Welcome to the bottom of the bottom. Me and Cena Solomon. If I saw him and I had to get him, yeah, I probably got him. Corner boost to mix up the solution. I am such a problem. Crazy goon and gone up that pollution with a group of goblins, super choppers, and they hoot and holler when we scraping dollars, losing partners. But if you started, we gon' finish it. Welcome to the wild side. You know what the business is.
Been running fast, crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything,